Welcome. This is the sermon of Church of the Rebels. And since this one is all about removing the glitter of religion, I thought I'd go all natural for this one. Nothing, not the glamorous makeup, not the glamorous hairstyles, not the, just straight up, this is me, this is who I am, normal. Before I was a CEO and owner of a startup corporation that I created in order to change the world, to bring mental healing and hope and maybe even real solutions to problems in the world, especially for kids, created a company that works for the kids. I was a master costume designer. I have a master's of fine arts in costume design, and that is a trade industry of vanity. It's a education that explores the world's history through its vanity and intimidation and its power plays and its dictators and all the things that people use, all the materialistic things that people use in order to oppress and suppress and make people feel down or heighten themselves up. It is literally a industry that explores vanity in every part and whole of it. Especially dealing with the human body, both the human body coverings and the human mind itself. And so as I'm looking at the attitude of people who are trying to portray themselves as Christians right now, with this political turmoil that's happening, people not wondering who's going to be the next president of the United States, where the president of the United States title is no longer seen as something of stewardship of a nation, but a reality TV game show title that somebody wins, as though we're giving somebody a rose and we're going to bow down with fealty and adoration and love. I don't know where this idea came from for the president of the United States and how we got away from this idea of somebody being in charge of the fate and lives of an entire nation, working for the people in that nation as a whole, and not for any special interest groups or for their own profit margins or their own venture schemes or what have you. And when I look at God being this centerpiece of this glitterati religion, if you would, where it is about glamour and spectacle and razzles and dazzles and heightened emotions and, what you would expect at a political rally, now being shown at a place where it's supposed to be about worship and praise and humbling, especially for Christians. We look at Christ and it says to humble ourselves. The first will be last. And yet we have these attitudes of Christians that says, America first, we're first, me first, mine, I want. How dare you take away from me, 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 me. The nation is obsessed in this and lost in this world of vanity. And it's infected the whole entire world. The whole entire world seems to be caught up in this net of vanity, of selfishness and greed that's coming straight from the top of the government. And for whatever reason, and however it happened, God has been portrayed as the master of vanity. As we start getting into the Christmas season, especially the Thanksgiving season, the time of gratefulness, the time of counting our blessings, a time of being grateful for what we have, especially as we've gone through this period of time of COVID-19 and we're still in, and who knows how long we're going to be in it, where we're still not able to access all the things that we used to be able to access, where we used to be able to go wherever we wanted to go and be with whoever we wanted to be with and do whatever we wanted to do. Now we have to consider the risk, and it is a risk. I mean, contrary to what the actors out there are saying, a disease is science. It works on a logical platform. A disease is a parasite, if you would, that sees the human body as a host to invade. And so whenever we're taking these unnecessary risks by exposing multiple crowds to a risk of one person infecting all. And to see the behavior of the politicians who act like, or the lawyers, or even the religious leaders who are supposed to have this responsibility, you know, they're tasked with this ethical responsibility, acting as though the diseases all bow down to them, as though God bow downs to them, as though God works for them. For some reason, God has become a second class citizen, if you would, in this whole world of power domination, where he is used and abused in order to get people to do whatever the power wants them to do. And this is happening inside the churches. It's happening inside the synagogues. It's happening, that I'm finding as I talk to more and more people in all the religious fields. Glitterati has become faith. It has been decked out. It has been glamorized. It has been bedazzled. It has been paraded. And it is used in order to make people feel bad, to make one group feel more powerful than the other at the expense and ridicule of the group that they're chastising using God. I do not understand this. And as I said before, I'm a master of vanity. I understand the whole entire concept of vanity and how powerful it is, how it can build up self-confidence or it can destroy lives. The power of egos. And yet I'm looking at all this from a Christian point of view, from a religious point of view, and trying to find God in it. Because the things that I read about God and about Jesus is that he does not like vanity. He does not like these parades, these shows of wealth giving. He doesn't like people to brag about what they do in his name. He doesn't even like people to pray out loud. You know, that's one of the things that was, I think that was in the Sermon on the Mount. He doesn't want people praying out loud because it risks not being sincere whenever you do that. And we talked about last week with the Pharisee and the scribe, where they were using their prayer, where the Pharisee was using his prayer to make the taxpayer feel down and to devalue him in front of the church so that Pharisee would feel better about himself. As a vanity expert, I cannot see God in our world right now by the people who claim to be of God. And so I thought maybe if we could get back to that stewardship idea that goes along with Christmas. You know, I know Christmas is still a month away, but I think we need it right now. The attitude of it, not the materialized, you know, not the commercial world. I mean, can you imagine? Who would have thought that Christians would have a problem with how people greet them at Christmas? I don't care if you tell me have a happy Xmas. I don't care if you tell me have a great holiday. I don't care how you tell me that greeting. I'm appreciative that you took the time to wish me good tidings during Christmas. But when people are having a fit about the way somebody wishes them good tidings at Christmas, we have to wonder what is going on. Where's the sincerity? The rituals of Christmas focus our minds away from the chaos and clutter this season sometimes brings, especially the clutter of our mind, as politics have just completely invaded our lives. Everything is a party. Everything is about party. Everything in the United States is about a party. The traditions allow us to tune into details often overlooked or taken for granted. Christmas is live action stewardship. It is a celebration of Christ's birth. It is also a reminder of the power of unselfish love and giving, an act of stewardship. And each time we share a gift with a friend or stranger, we show an example of this stewardship. It's easy to thank someone for giving us a gift. The words flow effortlessly from our mouths, and our souls swell up with the warmth felt by the thoughtfulness of that gift. It's why we give gifts, for that joy feeling. We don't give gifts in order to receive gifts in return, or we shouldn't. It's that gift of being able to give to somebody without them expecting it that gives you such joy in your life. Christmas spirit is a positive effect created by the action of giving. And we were designed to give. And when we give, our whole body benefits from the giving and takes on a glow. Look in the eyes of a person who gives you a gift next time, and you will see the sparkle from that glow. The greatest gift given to us by God was delivered in a tiny baby, born in a lowly manger, in front of mangy animals that no doubt stunk. The greatest gift given by God was rejected before he was even born. A rejection that permeated his life until his death. And yet, even in that rejection, even as people rejected him, hope lived on, and hope spread to others, bringing joy and peace and comfort and healing. And a lot of time it came to people who society had counted or had disregarded as worthless and not worth taking care of anymore. Even in that rejection, goodness lived on, and goodness spread to others, bringing joy, peace, comfort, and healing. The example Christ left behind for Christians to follow is to go against the grain of society and cultural norms in order to respond in Christianity love to others. You're not going to be popular. He wasn't. And the only reason he was is because he performed miracles. Remember that big miracle at the wedding? How much fame do you think that prominent, important wedding got? That people wanted to come around the celebrity and to see him perform those miracles again. Christmas reflects on the stewardship of God's greatest gift to the world. We cannot let the fear of being unpopular prevent us from interacting with those who look, think, live, or act differently from us. Or we risk losing out on an opportunity to spread joy, peace, comfort, and healing. So when you start seeing these Christmas symbols, which the stores are already filled with, next time you see a wreath, ponder the circular nature of life of Christ. And when you look at a candle flame, consider the light this one life brought to the world lost in darkness. When you see the delicate lace of the Christmas moms, those lace things you see on trees, and other ornaments on a tree, think of that delicate, fragile skin of that just born baby, brand new newborn, against the unyielding harshness of hay of a manger. And when you hear the bells of Christmas Day and their old familiar carols play, though wild and sweet their words repeat, peace on earth, goodwill to men. And reflect on the life of Christ and challenge yourself to do better each day, to be the disciples who reflect Christ's ministry. Because right now, take it from the professional who has studied vanity, the world's vanity since 6th century, 348 BC. Our world is obsessed and lost in vanity, that even the Christians can't see God.